All right, we're live. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Pen to Paper. I'm Leah Lindeman, author of the Canadian Reminiscence series and host of this podcast. And today I have Mimi Flood on, and she is a steamy romance author. So welcome, Mimi. So great
Thank
to have
you.
you on with us.
It's so nice
And
to be here.
tell us a little bit about yourself, maybe a fun fact, and the book
Okay.
that you're going to be talking about today, which is Swept Away. And
Yeah,
it's the first in the series of your Oakwhite Bay series, right?
it is. It is my first series ever. So
Really?
yes, no, I've done only standalones from before now. So yeah,
Oh,
I'm a little bit anxious. I mean, I've been around so many series and I know so many people who've written series. So I think I know what I'm doing. But yeah, I'm really, really excited because it's a completely different mindset, right? Like,
yeah.
anyways, so yeah, I think this is book, God, I've lost count. I think this is 10, maybe 11. I think it's 11.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's
So
impressive.
yeah, thank you. So let's see a little bit about me. Well, I'm born and raised in Montreal or around Montreal.
Okay.
I've been writing since the age of 12. I self-published in 2018, and that's what I've been doing since then, really. And it's always been contemporary romance, steamy
Okay.
contemporary romance, I should say.
Okay.
A fun fact about myself. I never know what to say with these things because I find I'm so boring. And then I'm
Oh,
like, I find like people are like, oh, that's fun. No, I don't find it fun. But I always say like an interesting fact, but
sure. Let's go. It's interesting.
I don't even know if it's that interesting anymore. Like to me, it's like, but it's really not. Okay, so what can I say? I always say, oh, I'm a type 1 diabetic. But now all these people are like, oh, so am I. And I'm like, okay, so it's not that fun anymore.
Okay. Okay.
I just find it fun because I feel like when I got diagnosed, it was such a like uncommon thing for my age because I got diagnosed at like 29. And people were
Oh,
like,
really?
oh, but wait, aren't you supposed to have it when you're like a little kid? But now I find like it's really sad, but more and more people my age are getting diagnosed with it or have gotten in the last couple of years. And so it's
Oh,
not really fun as much as it's a little bit depressing and discouraging.
yeah, that's interesting. I have a friend, a childhood friend, and she got diagnosed when she was in her teens.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I just assumed, well,
Yeah.
I guess it used to be a childhood thing, but I
Yeah,
guess not anymore.
I just met somebody the other day who's like in her 50s and just got diagnosed with it. And so yeah, it's a
Wow.
little bit shocking, but I like that I can, educate people about it and I'm totally open to questions about it. So I mean, I find it fun in the way that I'm okay with it and I'm not ashamed of, and I like teaching people about it. And I like, demystifying it a little bit because there's a lot of like fake information out there about it and people assume
Oh,
and
is
stuff.
there?
So, I mean, like I said, it's not really a fun fact.
Yeah.
Um, let's see what else. I'm a
Well,
huge
how about
Supernatural
this?
fan.
Sorry, what?
I'm a huge Supernatural, this TV show fan. Like I'm
Oh,
a little bit
yeah.
obsessed. Yeah, a little bit. Secretly married to Jensen Ackles, but
Okay, okay. I actually have not seen the show. Right now, yeah, no, it is on my to watch list eventually.
so
I'm
many
trying to
people
like,
have not seen it. I know. It's like I try to convert people as much as possible.
yeah.
It's not for everybody, but honestly, like it's once you're into it, I mean, you become obsessive about it. So
Okay.
yeah,
So you
it's
become
really
part of the fan club.
yes, definitely. So
Oh, that's
yeah.
fun.
Okay, so now I have to talk about my book, right?
Well, hold on. I have a quick
Okay,
question.
go for it.
Because
Sorry.
I'm from Montreal too. I was born in Montreal. I lived in
Okay.
Park Extension for the first 12 years of my
Okay.
life. So what's your favorite thing about Montreal? Could be food,
Okay,
could
so
be
now
fashion, whatever you want to say.
to be fair, I think in my entire life I've moved about 15 times. Okay. So I have
Oh,
lived, like when I say I've been downtown, I've been on the South Shore, I've been on the North Shore, now I'm in the West Island. So
yeah.
literally everywhere. But I haven't like been downtown like regularly in years. Like I can't even remember how long. My favorite thing about the city, I think, and what I always tell people that I think should come and like visit is that you will never get bored. You
That's
cannot
true.
get bored. And I mean that like you could literally have the longest list of things to do and you still won't have gotten them all done in like even if you spent 2 weeks because there's just I mean, every food you can imagine, every culture you can imagine, all the arts, all the history. I mean, there's literally nothing here that I mean, you cannot be bored. You cannot be bored.
It's true.
And like, no matter what, literally anything you can think of, you can find it here, you know? Yeah. And I think people underestimate, it's such a small city. Like when you look at the grand scheme of things, it's a tiny little island, but it really packs a punch. And I think when you're away from it, like I said, I haven't, I mean, you know, you go in once in a while for a concert or something. Yeah. But when you go back, there's just this certain vibe that I feel like you can't find anywhere else, right?
No,
and
it's
like,
true.
You can go like Old Port, Park X, and in one day you could visit like 60 different cities, but it's all in one, you know?
Yeah.
And
yeah.
I find that like impossible to find anywhere else, but maybe I'm biased. I don't know.
But that was a great representation of our city. So good job. So let's get on to the representation of your book. Tell us.
Oh gosh.
Because it's coming out June 30th.
June 30th. Oh my gosh.
Okay.
That's
coming.
Really soon. Yeah, it's coming. See, here's the thing. I've been working on this book for like 2 years, 3 years, maybe. I mean, I've lost count now, but like the original idea came to me. Actually, no, let's go back. COVID.
Yeah.
My husband and I were watching The Affair and rewatching Dawson's Creek. Okay. Just to give you like, so I was in this like coastal seaside mentality. Yeah. I came up with the idea for One Night with Frankie, which is this little steamy, you know, small town age gap romance.
Which is actually the book that I got off of you.
Oh, yes, that's true.
Yes.
Oh, yay. That's so true.
Yeah.
So there you go. Perfect. And then I just put it aside. And then years later, a friend of mine was like, well, would you ever go back to Oakwhite Bay, which is the random town that I just came up with? But I was like, in my head, it like exists. I can see it. It's like I've lived there, you know?
Wow.
So she said that and it was like, well, I hadn't thought of it, but now the seed has been planted. So then I got an idea. I had a dream and it was a really good scene between a celebrity, kind of a washed up celebrity and his assistant. Okay. And it just and I said, hey, I could set it in Oakwhite Bay. And then this thing just grew. And now I've got 5 books planned.
Wow.
I have the second one's pretty much written. I'm getting it ready for my critique partner. The third one's like halfway done. The 4th and 5th ones are plotted out. Like it was shocking how it like came together. Yeah. But I'm sure when an idea works and it just flows, like you can't stop it, right? It just goes, right? And that's the best feeling. So that's really cool. So I've been working on it for a while. And other things kept popping up and I kept doing like a standalone here and then an anthology there. And finally I was like, okay, no, now you're going to buckle down and you're going to do this damn thing. So it's, it's coming out. Oh my God. What is that? Like a week and a half?
Yeah. Just right about.
It's crazy. You wait so long and then it like just pops up and you're like, oh my God, you know?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. You've just been waiting for so long and it's almost there.
Now you're worried because oh God, what if everyone hates it?
No, I'm sure. Well, how does what did I want to? Oh, yes. Right. I had a question and it's gone. Okay, well, let's go with this question. How is writing a series different than writing standalones?
Well, I feel, I mean, I guess it comes to me in the same way, but I feel like now I have to actually think, okay, like, in a standalone, you'll write like the side characters and they kind of just end there. They don't usually have their story. Well, this time I have to say, oh, wait, they could. And then all these little events are happening in couple A's life. And I'm like, ooh, but that could lead to couple B. And so it's like, usually I would stop those ideas because I didn't think long-term and expanding it. But now I'm actually like, oh, no, wait. Okay, this is going to go into book 4 or whatever. And I can actually expand on it. So I feel like my creativity, I'm like opening these little doors that usually stay shut, Yeah. It's like going down a hallway, but you're like, oh, I can actually go into these rooms. And so it's, I gotta say, I've always said I'm stupid for not doing this before. Like all my author friends were like, you need to write a series. You need to write, that's where the money is. That's where the money is. And I'm always like, but no, I like standalones. I know, But now I'm like, oh, I should have been doing this the whole time. Like now I'm thinking should go back on these other books and like create. I
Oh,
won't do it.
no,
Oh,
okay.
don't even open that one.
Too much.
Don't do that.
You
No,
already have this one, so let's finish this one.
I mean, like One Night with Frankie, it's the same town.
Yeah.
But it's written in third person.
Okay.
This series is first person. I will say that a side character from One Night with Frankie is the main girl of this one. I decided, you know what? I wasn't going to when I originally wrote it. Yeah. But I was like, well, hang on. She was like 16 in that book. So theoretically, she'd be right around 21 at this. And I was like, oh, you know what? So I've incorporated those characters. So like, you don't have to read it. But if ever someone were to, it's this little like interconnection there. So.
Oh, okay. Okay. Now I remembered my question.
Okay.
Each book in the Oakwhite Bay series, is it a different couple? Mm-hmm. And they're just all interconnected. Okay.
They're all interconnected. Yeah. Okay. So the guys, so the MMCs are actually the first three anyway, are like best buddies, like brothers from other mothers, basically. And then it's dual POV. So yeah, they each get their little love affair. But the women, well, they end up all friends essentially. But the main source is these guys and their relationship and their past together and stuff like that. Yeah. The last two are going to be connected characters. I'm not going to say who because those might be a little bit of a surprise. But
okay,
one of the couples, the MMC is the brother of the FMC from one of my other books. So I'm literally bringing. See, this is what I meant. I start opening that door.
That's fun. Yeah.
So it's kind of bringing in other people. So it's not like you have to, but they are going to be interconnected. I figured why not, because then if it brings people into other parts of my books, then great, So
yeah. And then it's like little Easter eggs. People like that, right?
I love it. I love when I read that.
Books, and now I get to see all
There you go. And that character happens to be from Montreal. Just saying.
Oh, fun. Okay, great.
Yeah. I have to.
Yeah, for sure. So why now? Like you said, your author friends were pushing you to do the series. Like, what was finally the give inside you? Like, okay, I can do this, or
I'm trying to remember. I was trying to think of that today. I was like, what have I? Because I feel like I haven't done anything. Like I say this to my bestie, like I haven't done anything over the past year, and then she lists the 28 things I did. And I'm like, oh yeah, right. Okay, well there was that. I mean, I released a novella earlier this year, but that I had done before I'd released it in an anthology. So we had unpublished anthology. So I figured, okay, I released it on its own. Yeah. Before that, I had done a little bit of a shorter novel. So I was just kind of like the big ideas I had were kind of like going to the side. And this one was coming out more and more. And I just looked at my calendar and I was like, okay, this would be a good time. Like I have a million other whips going and other ideas. Yeah. But I was like, I need to get these out. These guys are like being louder and louder. And like I said, it was growing. It felt right. It felt natural. Yeah. I'm not going to stop that because, if you stop that, then it might not come back. Right.
Yeah, that's right. It's just, it feels like you're dying inside a little bit.
Yes. To be totally dramatic. Yes. It feels like we're dying inside. I know. Yeah. So it just felt right. That's, yeah.
That's cool.
I'm not one of those. I don't know if you are, but I'm not like I should be, but I'm not a big planner. I mean, I make plans, but I never stick to them. I really go with gut instinct. I go with where my mind's at. I go with my schedule with my kids, life. Shapes all of these things. Right. So, I mean, sometimes it's just random, really, Yeah,
no, it's true. I think I used to be a lot more like just no plan at all. But now I feel with my kids and my, my author career and other things going on, I kind of have to have a plan, but I feel like I'm a very with the flow person. Right. So if the plan does not work, I'm quickly able to like reschedule or just whip things around. So plan, no plan, like I can work with either, but the plan just kind of helps like, I guess, structure,
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
But the structure can be destructured and reconstructed.
Yes.
Whatever that means.
I don't know if that's a mom thing, but definitely have learned to just kind of roll with the punches, right? Like
yeah, for sure. Yeah, that's true. So you mentioned Oakwhite Bay was like this town that you lived in. is it, I'm guessing then that it feels like a character in the series? And like, how does that,
Ooh,
right? Like it's its own
that's deep.
character.
I never thought of it that way. Oh my gosh. Wow. You just opened another door.
Oh, great.
I mean, I guess yeah, it's this living, breathing thing. I guess it's weird because in my other books, I set them either in, like I set them in Montreal, or I set them in places where I lived. So I had like,
Mhm.
so I would relate to that, and I would
Yeah.
put that in my stories. But like, yeah, Oakwhite Bay, and I think I have one other book that I made up a fictional town.
Okay.
And because it was a standalone, it didn't, like, I felt like I knew it and I could see it perfectly clear.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess now, yeah, because I am like, I'm not a good artist. Okay. I draw like horribly. But I
Oh,
sketched out like the town because I was trying to
okay.
like say, okay, if she took this street, trying to get an idea of who lives where. And
Yeah, very
it's awful.
helpful.
It's an awful drawing. I'm gonna get my kid to
Would
do
you
it.
like to show us?
No, I don't even know where it is. It's somewhere in my desk now. I have no idea. I mean, it's all. I might put it in a book just for like, just to make people
You
laugh. Like,
should.
look, because I've seen some authors do it, and they get like an art, an actual artist to do it, and it's really cute.
Yes.
But I was like, imagine if I just put my horrible, like 1D. Anyways,
We would feel so much closer to you.
it's so bad. But I feel like, yeah, now it's like I really have to expand it, and I'm creating all these little businesses and everything. So I guess it is its own little character. Yeah. And I mean, everybody's perspective. Oh man, you are making me really like, but I'm like, now I'm thinking of every character's perspective about that town, how they feel about it. And yeah, it is essentially like that. Yeah, it's its own breathing little character. See, I guess this is another thing about writing a series, right?
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
You're allowed. See, this is new to me. This is all fresh and new. I love it.
This is amazing. Okay, so let's take a little break. You go get your notebook and pen.
Oh, no, I thought you wanted me to get my drawing.
But seriously, after this talk, you should do that. So the whole new world has been opened up.
Oh, God.
The comedy has started. Well, let's get into the sizzle. Because you call this a sizzling, steamy, opposites attract, slow burn tension.
Yeah.
So we have Spencer, that's the washed up heartthrob, right?
Yes.
And then we've got Bethany, which is the side character from the One Night with Frankie.
Yes.
How did you balance their sizzle with like an actual emotional connection in the relationship? Like, what was that like?
Oh, well, see, okay, so the way I write is I actually have, I know a lot of authors don't do this or can't do this. I have no issues writing the sizzle. None whatsoever. Sometimes that's all I can think of. So literally it'll be 95% smut. And then I'm like, okay, I need some sort of, I don't want this to go into the erotica dungeon, right? So I'm like, I need to, and then I work on the rest. So sometimes it's a little tough, but this one, I tend to go for characters that they have a lot of fight. They have a lot of tension, but not just like miscommunication tension, but like actual butting heads. Actually, they're both very strong, opinionated, sometimes stubborn, but I feel like that can actually work sometimes. I know me and my husband personally are extremely stubborn, but we work so well together. So I feel like some people don't, oh no, you can't do that. And they believe like either the MMC has to be this strong alpha and then the girl I don't buy that. I don't like female characters that are weak. Sure, they're not perfect, but I feel like that tension, whether it's sexual, whether it's just them talking, whether it's whatever, works well together. And I tend to believe those stories more than if it's just like, oh, we're getting along great, and then we're going to have crazy wild sex. No, come on. There has to be, like that's just, come on. I mean, yes, sometimes you get along and everything's great, but you know what I mean? Like there has to be a little bit of a bite to it.
Yeah, sure.
So
that's the drama, right? That's like you need to have that in the book for people, even readers, to be invested. So
I again, personally, some people don't need that. I need to have some sort of, I don't know what, I don't want to call it tension, but yeah, like some angst, right? I need to have something. So I feel like most of the time my sizzle either, I do like to do slow burn. I mean, I like to prolong the, but I do find like the foreplay in conversation is really fun.
Yes.
So I've noticed, especially with these couples, I tend to have they have a lot of conversations about things, but not like, I hope they're not boring, but I mean, like, arguments about things that I think every day people have arguments about, like restaurants or just random crap that you argue about, but it leads to flirtation and it leads to the rest, right? So I feel like sometimes if I start with a sizzle, it actually helps, build around it, the conversations around it.
Okay.
But then again, sometimes I just lose me. Oh, hang on.
Yep.
It looks like you froze
frozen
on my end.
Oh, you're frozen on my end.
Oh, great. So it's probably mine. Yeah. Oh, no. Did you lose like everything I said or no?
No. Okay. I
Okay.
was hearing it. It was just slightly frozen for a few seconds. Good now.
So yeah, I completely lost my train of thought. But I think that it usually they help each other, and it just kind of, I don't know, it just leads into it. But I feel like the sizzle has to be a conduit. It can't just be there because it has to be there. It has to be there because they need it. Yeah, there's a purpose. Their character development, I think, needs it. And I think there's usually a reason. I mean, of course, there's some that are just, just fun and it's like gratuitous. But I feel like sometimes there's a key emotional factor in those scenes that came from whatever was happening before, which I think should happen. Then again, I might just be randomly just writing crap that comes to me because I feel like I see everything in my head like a movie. So I don't even know if I'm actually doing this or if somebody else is just putting these thoughts in my head and I'm just putting it on paper. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I feel like there's one book I've written that has no steam in it. And it has a little bit, but like hardly.
Okay.
And that's an exception to my rule because I feel like I have to. I don't know why, but I feel like my couples have to have that.
Okay.
Even if it just happens at like the last quarter of it,
Yeah.
I feel like it's just like that, cherry on the sundae to be totally.
Do you feel like that's like the closure to their relationship, maybe like the fulfillment of that?
Yeah. I don't know how to explain it, but I feel like they need to cover all the bases. So they have to make each other laugh. They have to argue. They have to have intelligent conversations and see each other and the world sort of they have to be on the same page, more or less. And they also have to have a fantastic physical relationship.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's what you hope for, right?
That's like what you hope for.
Life. Like that's what you want. It's not always going to be conversation. It's not always going to be flirtation. It's going to be, as you said, you're going to have those discussions or arguments, right? And then sometimes it's just going to be good bedroom stuff. So.
Sometimes that's all you need. You know what I mean? Yeah. So, I think that's what I try to put in all my stories. But again, I might not. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, interesting. We do have a question from someone. This is from Janelle. She says, I think this idea is corny and a bit dumb, but I always wanted to write a book series with a celebrity involved. Like, for example, Enya, what would your advice be? And could I use her as a character?
Well, Enya. Oh, I used to listen to her. I mean, obviously the simple answer is no, you can't use a celebrity because you'll get sued. But you can be inspired by them. So that dream that I had, my dream was the actor was Chris Pine.
Oh, no way.
And I was the assistant. So really. So I used him at first, but then I've, since but you can always use them as an inspiration and go from there. Actually, that brings up, not to plug my other book, but Verses.
Oh, sure. Why not?
Since I'm here, Verses of Us, my rock star romance, that, I mean, I am totally honest about it. That is Robbie Williams. I have been
Okay.
obsessed with him since I was a teenager, and the only difference is I made him Irish instead of British. But I mean, if you're a Robbie fan and you read that book, you're like, oh, okay, yeah. Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Because there's like a few things that I kind of, took from reality.
Uh-huh.
But I'm not ripping off anything that's like, I'm not taking away his songs. I'm not, I full on at the beginning say that he inspired it.
Yep.
So you can totally be inspired by something. But
Mhm.
I think that actually makes the best stories personally. The more you're pulling from stuff that gets you like right here, the better your story will be. If you're just
Mm.
making stuff up off the top of your head, it's going to lack that emotional connection. So yeah, totally use whoever you want as inspiration. Just don't steal too much. Don't use their song lyrics, things
That's
like that.
right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Great advice. Thanks for answering that. Okay, now let's get to Spencer and Bethany. So he is at this Oakwhite Bay. Why is he at Oakwhite Bay? What's the story behind that?
So the story behind him, he's 30, and he's basically picture. Well, I was like I said, I was very inspired by Dawson's Creek. So I imagine like those actors now type thing,
Okay.
But he's 30. He used to be like a teen heartthrob. He was on this like #1, teen drama. But then he left the show and things kind of just went down south. He was just causing trouble and being a little disturber. So his mother, who happens to be an A-list Oscar-winning actress, said, you know what? Go to our summer home in Oakwhite and chill down, and I'm going to, do damage control. So basically he's under house arrest.
Okay, so not literal arrest.
No, his mother's like, stay out of the spotlight, go to our little home by the ocean, right?
Yeah.
And so he's spending the summer there trying to just, not trying to do anything. He thinks he's just wasting his time. She insists he needs an assistant. He insists he doesn't, but Mama knows best. So she gets him an assistant. Enter Bethany. Bethany, who's in town. She's born and raised in Oakwhite Bay, and she's looking for a job just for the summer. And her mother happens to get her this job, and she doesn't want to do it because she hates all the rich people and the way they treat the town, and loosely inspired by Pretty in Pink kind of vibes, the poor girl and the rich boy. But and then so then she takes the job because it's a lot of money.
Yeah.
And he likes, pushing her buttons, and she says she hates it, but really she kind of likes it. And so basically they spend the whole summer together because she has to live in the guest house on the property, right?
So yeah.
So there's a lot of, and she's, like I said, she's 20, about to be 21. He's 30. So there's a little bit of an age gap.
Okay.
But he's a little immature and she's a little bit more mature than most kids her age, right? So like I like that dynamic.
So the age gap kind of goes like this.
Yeah, I mean, when they're together, like when they're talking, you can't tell that there's a difference. She's very mature. She's very independent. He's a little bit of a smart ass. I always like my guys a little bit of a smart ass, a little sarcastic, a little bit of a troublemaker. But and the more she insists it's wrong, the more he wants it, of course, right?
Of course. And then like the chase.
So and essentially the idea is that he's not going to be in Oakwhite for too long. It's supposed to be temporary. She's not going to be in Oakwhite for too long. It's also temporary. So what will happen?
We'll find out.
I'll stop talking before I tell you.
Now, does his mom, since his mom is the one that put him on house arrest, does she kind of like enter and play in within the relationship, or is she pretty much hands off?
She's in at the beginning, and you see a little bit of her, and she's very direct. He even says like he's got his mom, and then he's got Marilyn, the persona, the person who controls everything, and he doesn't really get along with that one, when his mom, and there's a few moments where he'll admit, like his mom used to be a certain way and she's not anymore. But she slips away and she's not aware that anything is happening between them. They keep it. She pretty much is MIA for the summer, and she's expecting, Bethany to take care of it. And And I think she really trusts that, they're going to be totally just fine together and,
Or
silly
she
mom.
just willingly turns the blind eye to it. Like,
Well,
whatever.
to me, I picture like this, like, Michelle Pfeiffer type of,
Oh, yes.
older actress who is just trying to, she's too busy. You know what I mean? Like and like I said, like their relationship, she of course loves her son and there is still some, love
Yeah.
between them, but it's kind of like he's at the age where she's like, he can handle himself. You know what I mean? He's 30. I don't need to
He's
watch over
30.
him all the time.
Yeah.
But yeah, anyways, I'm not gonna spoil the
This
rest,
sounds
but
like it would make a great movie.
well, I think of all my books that way. I think
Those
these
movies?
are such
Yeah.
great movies. But I really like, I can see it. I've cast them. If any producers are listening, I can scout locations. I got this. Like I was a
Yep.
film
Yep.
student. I know exactly what.
Oh, really? How
Yeah,
long were you
maybe
a
I
film
should make
student
that my
for?
fun fact. That's better than diabetic. But yeah.
How long did you do the full like film?
Oh yeah, I got my BFA in fine arts, a major in film, and a minor in creative writing.
Cool.
I was going to
Very
be
cool.
a screenwriter, and then when I graduated, I realized you need to know people to get a job in Montreal. Anyway, it helps.
Yeah.
So I kind of
No,
got
it
discouraged.
seems-
Yeah. No, it's okay. I kept writing, and then I just was like, oh, I could do this instead. So but I know how to write a screenplay.
That is very cool. So, like, if anybody ever wanted to commission you to write a screenplay, then you could write a screenplay.
Oh, totally.
Okay.
It's really fun, actually. I actually
Yeah.
think that if more authors wrote their stories into scripts, it would help them, because when you can hear dialogue as it's supposed to be spoken, it changes everything. Because there's nothing I hate more when reading a book and I'll like hear the characters and I'm like, nobody talks like that. Like that's not natural. You know what I mean? Like, and it reminds you you're reading a book, and then it takes you out and it's the whole thing. So yeah. Anyway.
Oh, okay. Good. That's a really good fun fact. You should share it with our local authors group. Like, seriously, you might be getting a lot of calls.
You know what? Maybe I should start branching back out into that. I don't know.
Yeah. No, it's true. I have heard you need connections, and I guess that would be up to the authors, that if they want a screenplay, that they could get one written by you, but then they would have to do the work of actually finding.
Oh yeah. No, I'm not going to be your agent. Absolutely not. I'll write it and I'll give it back to you. You can do the rest.
Yeah. There you go. That's really cool. Okay, we do have another question here, again from Janelle. Should I continue to write books even though they came out kind of stupid, or should I just stick with what I do best, which is singing? And by the way, I released my first single called Open in 2025.
Wow. Okay, so you've released a single. Okay. I sing in my kitchen. So that's amazing. So I don't know why you think it's kind of stupid. Is that a personal thing? Have other people told you that? I've recently had these roller coasters of, why am I doing this? What's the point? And I think we all pretty much have that at one point or another. And at the end of the day, like there's this other friend of mine that said, okay, but let's say you say you didn't have to publish. Say like you had all the money and didn't have to publish. Would you still write? And she's like, the answer is yes, then you keep doing it. If the answer is no, then you don't. Because it's no longer your passion, it's no longer your love, right? So at the end of the day, I would be writing because I have these ideas and I need to get it out, and that's what I am. So there's some books out there that are absolute garbage, and they didn't care. They published them anyway. If you love your story and you're happy with it, put it out there. Everyone's going to find their people.
Yeah.
It might take a while, but if you really believe in it and you think it's good, someone else out there other people are going to find it good. So, that's why I say it depends who's telling you that it's stupid, And also, if you think it's good and other people are telling you it's stupid, find different people, like beta readers. And because there's a lot of beta readers, I've gone through tons. Some of them are they're nice people and meant well, but just didn't click, didn't get it, So be careful when you mark something stupid, because it might just be your like inner little doubt that's saying that it might not actually be stupid. So
Mm-hmm.
put it out there. Can't hurt.
So
Right?
that's how you deal with your imposter syndrome then?
Oh, no. I tell people, and I'm all about the advice, but when it comes down to me, I have mental breakdowns and I just doubt myself. And then my husband has to come and tell me, no, you're good, babe, you're fine. And then my author friends are like, no, we love you. And I'm like, okay, I'll keep going. Yeah.
Oh, that's the sweetest that he's there for you in that way.
Yes. He's a very, very big supporter. He does not like my characters' names or my titles. But
really?
Yeah, well, he's stupid that way. He says, like, he calls every guy Johnny, and he says, oh, this should be, and he just thinks he's funny. But at the end of the day, he does actually really support me. He has read a couple of my books. He's
okay.
He's just being stupid. That's all.
That's hilarious.
But he is very supportive. He is very supportive. Yeah, and when I'm having a really rough time, he's the first one to like give me a hug and let me vent. And yeah, no, everyone needs one of him, I think. He's
for sure.
Yeah.
Oh, that's the sweetest thing. Well, let's go to Spencer and Bethany. What was one of your favorite scenes to write in Paris? Maybe without giving away too much. One of your favorites. Doesn't have to be the favorite. Something that kind of like showcases their tension or their slow burn or whatever.
It's so funny because just the other day I was rereading it, like just, proofing it. Yeah. And I laughed out loud at something. I had forgotten that. I mean, I didn't I remembered writing it, but I was just like, this is hilarious. And now this was 4 days ago. I can't even remember what the hell it was. That's how bad this is. Oh gosh, there's a few moments. But that's a spoiler.
Yeah, no spoilers.
Oh gosh. Well, I do like like I said, now I get to incorporate the other characters. And so there's this time where he takes her to his friend's house for dinner. And they're just having like a, dinner and game night. And it's just like the way she just like, she's awkward at first and nervous, but like the friend is immediately like hugging her. And then there's like, just like this little exchange where they kind of tease Spencer like together, like after just a bit. And so like, you could see like, okay, she's coming, even though she's only the assistant, you can sense like, and I just love like this, like family type of like dynamic, like a found family thing, That's and sweet. That scene, like, and now that I think of it, that's the joke that made me laugh, like out loud, like when they and I'm not gonna say what he says because it's a really good punchline, but it's just like, I felt like all the characters kind of just came together in like a perfect Zen moment. So yeah, when they go to dinner at Hunter's house, that's all I'm gonna say.
Hunter's house dinner. Okay, so everyone look for that.
I mean, I could go into like the X-rated scenes, but you don't need to know that right now.
There you go. So you have two main tropes that you've talked about here, slow burn and opposites attract. What draws you to these tropes? What do you like about them?
I don't actually, so I don't pick tropes before I start writing.
Okay.
I just have an idea, I start writing, and then at the end I'm like, oh, it's this. Oh, look, it's this. Yeah. I mean, the only one that I know that is going to be throughout is small town. That's it. I mean, I literally, like the third one, I started working on it and it was going to be former friends to enemies to lovers or something.
Yeah.
And then it became, brother's best friend to like, it's like, as I'm going, it just sort of comes in. I know it's going to be steamy. I know it's going to be small town.
Yes.
The characters come
kind of good, though.
Yeah.
Because your readers expect that from you, right? So like you're getting consistency. So
I wish I could. I know people who are like, I'm writing this type of book, and then they write. I cannot. I cannot.
Well, I mean, your characters are the one that's dictating that, right?
Yeah.
So, like, I think that's great.
That's what I'm telling you. I feel like somebody else is putting this stuff in my head because I really don't feel like I have. I mean, I have some control. Yeah. But like, yeah. I mean, I tend to lean towards. I love second chances. I'm a stickler for like third act breakups when they make sense, not when they're just, I love the slow burn.
Yeah.
Slow burn, but like realistic slow burn. Like, I
Yeah.
don't want somebody walking into the room, like I want like actual things that'll break them apart, So I always kind of put those in, but no, I don't, all the rest, the opposites attract, the forced proximity, like this is just, as I was going, I was like, oh, look at that. Even the
Yeah.
age gap. I mean, I wasn't going to make Spencer
Oh
that
yeah,
old at
the age
first.
gap too. Like, was
Yeah.
that just like that's how they came out, and that was
I
it? You
think
just follow it?
because in my dream, Chris Pine was older than me.
Yeah,
It started there.
yeah.
But no, I don't know. At some point, I think they were in their early 20s. And then I was
Okay.
like, no, I want them to be older. I want them 30. That's not that old, but
It's not.
that's really not. But like in the second book, so Hunter is and so he's also 30, but the person he's interested in is about to turn 40.
Oh, okay. So that's you're
It's
gonna
the
do a
other way.
total flip then.
Yeah. So I mean, it's just a free for all. I don't really. I mean, it comes as it comes. I
Yeah.
have no idea, but I definitely don't pick it before I write it. That's for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I think that's the best way anyways. It's true. You just discover your tropes as
Because
you
then you're not boxing yourself into something, right? Like that's why I don't know about you. I'm not a plotter. I'm like
No.
I'm like a plantser, maybe more of a pantser, but yeah. But like I'm a discovery writer, which is
Yes.
yeah, that's a good one. But I don't know how people plot. I don't know how people plot. Like it's so I mean, I admire it and I wish, because I would be writing so much quicker, I'm sure. Because it would all be thought up, right? But
yeah, it's true. You're putting in the work beforehand, I guess.
Yeah.
Hold on. We've got someone saying, this is Alyssa from Wild Roots School. Hi. We're so glad you're here. So I'm actually I'm a planter too. I kind of like know my beginning, some scenes, and but I had to recently plot because I'm co-writing a short story with someone, and I'm like, yeah, we kind of need to know what we're doing.
Yeah, yeah, I would imagine.
We're writing like a murder mystery short story, and
wow,
we're like, okay, act 1 and act 2, this is what needs to happen in these acts, because he's writing one section, I'm writing another section. But even in that, even though most of the structure is there, we just get these random ideas like, oh, what if we did this? And we just text back and forth. And then we're like, oh, yeah, that's good. And then we kind of incorporate it. So there's still a little bit of like that spontaneous action. But yeah, it's definitely interesting. I think it was fun doing it with someone because you could play off of each other and be like, oh, what about this video? No, it doesn't really work. And oh, what about this? So maybe, I don't know if I would do it alone. But doing it with someone else was fun. It was a fun exercise.
It helps you like to bring you back in when you start wandering off, right? When you're like, oh, just do it, and you're like, oops.
Yeah.
Totally not on the same story anymore. Yeah, no. I've always been curious about co-writing. Like it's something I would love to do. And I have a friend, we have ideas. Okay. We have ideas, but I have no idea how we would do it. Like I just feel we're both, oh God. No, it would be a complete fiasco. I don't know how. I don't know if I could physically plot anything. I don't think I've ever plotted. I mean, I've plotted, but it was a little loose. It wasn't like, and I think I did it once, maybe.
Yeah.
So I don't know. That actually makes me anxious. I've been anxious. People have said, "Oh, this is what I do," and then they have these nice charts and these rules, and I'm like, "Oh, this sounds like fun."
No.
And then I start filling them out and I'm like, oh, I can't do it. It freaks me out.
Well, you know what you could do? That something would be like low pressure is maybe you could just do like a quick writing session, like together, just have a fun brainstorming session. And it could be like, okay, let's just have fun brainstorming and see what happers. And then, and it doesn't have to turn into anything. It could just be for fun. So you could try that, see what happens.
One day. I mean, I think we're both currently doing series. So
yeah,
it'll be a couple of years. And by then we'll probably have forgotten what our idea was originally.
Don't let that stop. Never say never, even when you're writing a series. Because I am, not stuck. I'm very, very happily writing my Canadian historical fiction series, which I'm covering all 13 provinces, and I've only written 3. So it's like a lifelong project that's going to take 20 years. And
my God.
So my co-writer, like he just kind of popped into my life last year, and we go to writers group, and then all of a sudden it just happened like, oh, what if we just write this together? So now I have my series, and because it was such like an idea that was calling to me, now I'm writing that. And guess what? Someone else found out that I was co-writing, and then they're like, I really like you. I'm pitching my idea to you. Let's go write something else.
That's awesome.
Like, you never know. So now I'm juggling like 2 different projects, and I never thought I'd be doing that because I was such a stickler for like only one at a time. So, I think if maybe the right project comes along, maybe the right co-writer, it might happen. So it might, but I guess I would say don't go looking for it.
No.
But if it just all aligns and timing is perfect, go for it, and it's fun.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Well, I mean, it helps that she's in the UK, so we don't actually hang out.
Oh.
So like scheduling anything would be like impossible. But yeah, I mean,
oh my. Yeah. So we do have a question here from Alyssa. I can't wait to read Swept Away. Already pre-ordered. How long did it take you to write? So I know you kind of answered this one.
Well, yeah, it took me, I mean, I couldn't tell you in hours, but I know that the first draft or the first scene was in late 2022. Yeah. And then it was scenes here and there. That's usually what I do. And then put aside. And then I think I published 2 books after that, like standalones that they were bugging me. I had to get them out. And I think it was 2024. I finally was like, okay, no, I need to at least finish the first book. And I started like hacking at it. So, I mean, in all, probably of actual writing, like maybe a year, not even. I don't know. It's hard to tell, right? When you break it up like that, but I know that the second and third one are just like coming out of me. Like the second one, I wrote it in like a matter of weeks. Like and the first one, I actually had to tweak it a lot. Like my critique partner and whatever, like there was a lot I had to fix about it. It was too long. It was just, it was like I was trying to get all these different things that I originally thought was good. And then I switched a lot. I changed it and then I'm like, okay, let me start book 2. And oh my God, it's just, I mean, I don't know if it's the, younger man, older woman thing that helps, but man, it just came out of me like in a couple of weeks, couple of months max. But usually it takes me at least, I'd say 6 months, like to get up like a polished, second draft, right? Like that can actually go to beta readers, let's say. Yeah, probably at least. I don't know. Time is fluid when you have 2 children. I don't know what day it is half the time. I'm lucky to get bits and pieces everywhere. Like I don't write full time, right? So yeah.
Well, you're pretty prolific for not writing full time.
I know, right? Again, see, imposter. I'm doubting myself, and then my friend, no, you've written X amount of books. Yeah, no, there is. Yeah, I might write faster than I think I do. I don't know. I really don't know. Depends on the story. It depends on the story, right? Like One Night with Frankie, I wrote that in like 2 weeks. Like I could not stop. It was just pouring out of me. So
there you go. So what, maybe to help you with your imposter syndrome is to like write this stuff down. Like, okay, I wrote this amount of hours, or like track it, and then it might just help boost you. Like, oh man, like I did that.
That's a very good idea. I should do that. I'm gonna ask my husband to create an Excel spreadsheet, and I'm gonna make a pie chart.
There you go. That could be like his very tactile way of supporting you.
Well, yeah. Instead of naming my books and my characters, he could do that.
There you go.
Yeah. Be more useful.
Well, I'll close with this last question for your book, about the book. And is there any message that you want your readers to take away from it? Either from the relationship or Bethany's arc or Spencer's arc or
so I think it's really, I mean, it's going to be totally cheesy, but
not at all.
the saying, when you love someone, let them go. I believe strongly that life will give you what it needs to give you when it's time to give you. And just because now is not the time doesn't mean that it won't at some point be. So don't give up on that person, no matter what life is putting in your way.
Mhm.
And I think, yeah, definitely don't let temporary circumstances, ruin what could be a long-term happiness, basically.
That's beautiful.
Thank you.
It is
Write
not
that down.
cheesy at all.
This is being recorded, right? I can like re-listen to this.
Yes, it's live and it's going to be recorded and I'm going to re-upload it.
I'm going to be like, that is really wise.
It is. You could I like when I sign my books, I always write like a little message inside them, and you could use that when you sign
I
your book.
suck at that. People
Really? Well, you just got it.
I know, but then when people are asking me, I'm just like, they're like, write your favorite line from the book. I'm like, I don't remember anything. Like, I have no idea what to write. And I'm like, hope you like it. I can't. I'm so boring. I need to start coming up with better things. Yeah.
Well, how about this? I will find that exact line you just did. I will send it to you, and then that will be the thing you write.
There you go. I need that. Thank you. I'll make
You'll
stickers.
either have to memorize it, or like you'll give yourself a little cheat sheet.
I get a little sheet.
What do I write for this one? Oh yeah, this.
Yes. Oh, you give me so many ideas.
Okay.
Oh man, that's funny.
And well, this has been so much fun having you on. You are fun.
Thank
you may not be you're not so you know how you said that you thought you were boring at the beginning?
Yeah.
Well, you're not. I thought this about myself for the longest time too, that I was boring for like decades. And then I just realized I may not be funny, but I'm fun. So there's a difference. You don't have to be funny, because like me in comedy, I just don't tell jokes. I don't crack, wise ass stuff. Like I just don't. But I'm a lot of fun, and I'm very driven, and I'm adventurous and curious. So I think that's my fun factor. And you got your fun factor. So yeah, take that to heart.
I will. Thank you. That's very sweet. Thank you. I will.
Yes, and this has been very fun. Thank you, everyone, for coming on and supporting Mimi. And please go pre-order her book if you haven't. It's
99 cents.
99 cents is really, really good.
It won't be 99 cents for long.
No, that's it. So we got to know. You guys are amazing. Thank you. Thank you so much. It's very sweet of you. Thank you for your questions. Mimi did also a great job answering them and inspiring. And yeah, it's been great. So we're going to sign off. Goodbye, everyone. Oh, wait, before we do, I forgot to ask. Where can people reach you?
Like my address? No. They can.
No, that would be creepy.
Actually, I'm on Instagram and TikTok and Facebook. I think that's about it. At Mimi Flood Author.
Okay.
MimiFlood.ca is my website. All that good stuff's on there. You can find me pretty much everywhere. So yeah, and I will answer anything. I am totally online. Maybe I should spend less time online and write more books, but I am online. You can reach me pretty much everywhere.
There you go. All right. Now this will be the official goodbye.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.